Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika's Den. I am Tamika. Get on in here, y'all. Get on in here. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. You are now in the
Come on in, y'all.
The kids, I don't want to see a damn Tahada. If you look like a Tahada, get out my damn face, all right? Try
where the real talk begins. Kick off your shoes.
Let's get into it, honey. Let's get into it. This is my review recap, child.
And the vibe's so sweet. This is
when I tell y'all
safe space for your
and the
soul.
foolery and the messiness
Where stories unfold and self-love takes control. From movies
I
to
could have had
the
a VA,
mind.
all right? This was supposed to
She's
be.
breaking it down with a crown on her head and a heart so sound.
Because Ronnie is a
Light a candle, sip some tea.
Maybe they should have named this Bad
You're not alone, we got you, friend. Welcome home.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's how you spend a Saturday.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika's Den. I am Tamika. Get on in here, y'all. Get on in here. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. You are now in the Zen, and I'm now talking twisted, baby, okay? You know you got me twisted, okay? Baby. No, let me stop. Anyway, y'all, this is Twisted. This came out back in February, and I did get to take a chance, a little peekaboo, and see what's going on in the Gmon streets. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. This caught my eye because I was like, oh, I've never seen him play this kind of role before. Of course, you know Gmon Hansu. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right because y'all know I will butcher a name in a minute. He has played in many of roles, okay? From Blood Diamond to in the Marvel, universe with Guardians of Galaxy, Captain Marvel, What If, he'd have been over here with Aquaman, Shazam, Stargate, Constantine, like it goes on and on and on. How to Train you Train Your Dragon, Gladiator, which is one of my favorite movies, right? And so, Quiet Place, and so on and so forth. So I was like, this is a little different for him. So I want to see what we was talking about over here. So this, of course, was like a horror thriller, and it was directed by Darren Lynn Bousman and written by Jordan Bersentine and James Greer. Okay, and you had Dijon in it. You had Lauren, Mia Haley, Gina Phillips, Neil McDonough, and Alice Witt, right? And so these two millennials are basically scammers. They go around and they get unsuspecting tenants. They tell you they're coming to rent the apartments out, but then they actually try renting it to other people, even though they don't own the properties. And it's a scheme that they have apparently been doing for quite some time out here in New York City, baby. They got a whole hidden agenda. But then the tables turned on them and they finally met their match. And I kind of got mixed feelings on it because on one hand, I fully get that if somebody over here, playing in your face, trying to steal your property, then you will absolutely be like, hold up, wait a minute, okay? So again, she meets him as this person that she's trying to rent his place. But what she doesn't know is that he is actually a doctor, okay, out here in these streets. He's a brain surgeon, neurosurgeon, and he ain't with the shits, okay? He got cameras all throughout his place. So this whole time that she's actually in his apartment, taking pictures down, rearranging stuff, looking to, make this sell, and her friend actually have a whole bet going on as to who's going to be able to, make this apartment sell first, baby. Is it going to be you? Is it going to be me? Is it going to be we? Is it going to be us? Okay, out here in these streets. They actually, he's watching the whole time so he can see that she's up to some damn shenanigans, right? So we have him playing Dr. Robert Kazan. We have, Palomar, who's renting an apartment from him from her friend Smith, who's, over here working on other apartments. And we like, yeah, girl, we going to get together. We going to be able to meet up with each other a little bit later on. You have a detective, Diane Warwicker, who's actually working on looking into these cases and some of these properties that's been going up, right? And in the midst of this, one of the people that comes to rent out the apartment actually basically just seems to, attack her. Like, he felt like he could come up in here and do whatever the hell he want to do. Who gonna stop me, boo? Who gonna check me, boo? Type of energy, right? And in the midst of him attacking her, she over here fighting for her life, giving a very good fight, I might add. But unfortunately, he does kind of, get the upper hand on her. And Jamon comes in for the save, and you're thinking like, oh, cool, great, he's here to save her. However, he flip it and reverse it, and the next thing you know, we got a whole damn, secret layer that we taking the people's too, honey, and we got her chained up, and we got a person watching her, and we like, what the hell? What the hell is really going on? Like, what is the truth? What are we doing out here in these daggone streets, right? And so in the meantime, her friend is looking for her, texting and all of that, and he's pretty much answering back. And her friend is like, because they have certain code words and certain things they usually use to talk to each other. And she's able to catch on that this may not be my friend, because when she says, I love you, he types back like, I love you too. And that's not how she would normally talk. And so then they decide they're going to go and do investigative work. Now, something we have to take into account is he had initially, when he was meeting her, said, his wife was up out of here, may she rest in peace, that she was no longer amongst the living. But what he didn't tell her is that he technically still had his wife hooked up to damn life support, even though she was, brain dead, so to speak, right? And because he's a brain surgeon, child, he over here acting like he about to be doing, Dr. Frankenstein style, and invent some shit. And basically his whole objective is to move his wife's brain into, another body. And so since you wanted to be up here playing in his face and, messing around in his apartment, he's figuring, why not you? Okay. And so basically when her friends come over there messing around, and the cops is coming back and forth because they're like, oh, it was a vehicle here, did you see anything, did you hear anything, did this woman ever come over here to rent your apartment? He's like, deny, okay, it wasn't me, I don't know nothing, I ain't seen nothing. And he's like, as a matter of fact, as far as the van that was sitting outside my house, I had them, go ahead and tow that. I did call about that, but other than that, no, I didn't see anybody. When her friends is coming around, he's just basically trying to get rid of them. And unfortunately, since you wanted to be sneaking up in my house and asking questions, you could get it too. It's like he's literally done changed into, crazy, deranged, where he's taking out ninjas one by one. Okay. And the bodies are starting to pile the hell up. I don't think that was initially his plan. And of course, we think about the oath that doctors, take, and you're getting the flashbacks to him and his wife and their relationships, and, him convincing himself that this is what his wife would really want him to do. Okay. And you got her fighting from the inside, trying to get away from him, trying to appease to him, trying to say, look, it's not too late. You still can call for help. You still, could get me out of here. And she's trying to also be like, I don't think your wife would want you to do this, up until the point that she actually sees his damn, wife being willed in. And on top of that, he also still has the person that attacked her up in this thing. And, he's literally messing around with his brain too. And he does an experiment where 1 minute it actually looks like, we actually getting somewhere, like he's actually moving along with being able to transfer the brain of her friend into the brain of her attacker, right? And so she's literally having a whole conversation with her friend, but technically it's not her friend, it's her friend inside of the attacker, so to speak, because now he has transferred the brain in, right? And it doesn't go good because homeboy ended up smashing his damn head into the damn wall. So her friend was literally back from the dead for like 2.5 seconds. Okay. But point being is that that was kind of him seeing, can this work? Is it possible that I would be able to transfer my wife brain into her? Baby, when I tell you I didn't have all of that on my bingo card, I said, really? That's what we doing? Okay. And so she literally is fighting to the end, and we literally have the cops don't know that he's doing this to this degree, but they like, nah, something ain't right with him. We need to get up in this house and we need to find out, what's going on. And unfortunately, when they get there, you're thinking that they're about to get there just in time and save her. But baby, they was at a whole nother location than where he was, because he was down in his damn secret layer. And then he was able to, move from there too. And it was to the point that he even took out a friend of his, because he thinking he gonna call the friend in to help him. But the friend is like, nah, you out of pocket. You wrong. You taking this too far. You cannot do this. And he's like, I'm not going to have no part of this. And when he goes to leave, child, he even take him out too. So I say, yeah, you definitely ain't, a doctor that is worried about oath and worried about doing things, the protocol in the correct way. You don't went far and beyond. So when it's all said and done, he does do the transfer of his wife into her, and he's thinking like, oh, me and my wife, okay, we over here sipping on some wine, we back where we supposed to be together forever, okay, out here in these streets. And he's thinking like, we over here in this cabin and we gonna be living our best lives, bitch. But she basically was like, oh, you thought, okay, you thought like Nelly. She thought shit was damn jelly, because even though technically it was supposed to be his wife, back reincarnated, so to speak, my girl was like, okay, think again, bitch, because out of no damn where, in the midst of them, having conversations and sipping on wine and being like, oh, well, whatever happened to the girl, that you got this brain from? And he like, oh, don't worry about it. She was somebody that was dying, that had signed the organ donor list, and, she wanted somebody, to get the brain. And he just flat out, lying and thinking that this is really his wife now that he have back. And baby, when he went outside for a minute to look at the scenery and really feel like, oh, I got away with this, okay, who gonna check me, boo? She ended up coming up behind him and took his ass out. So it really was her still inside of the wife, still living, still remembering everything that he did to her. And so when it was all said and done, the joke then was on him, okay, because she got his ass right on up out of here. So I thought it was pretty good, y'all. I'm not even going to lie. Now, y'all know I don't go by what the critics say. I always like to look at stuff for myself and judge myself, for myself. I want to say that I've seen something like they gave this between a 2.5 and a 3 out of 5 stars. And I can say that I agree with that. All right. It was interesting. It was a different, side to him in terms of movies that he's been in and him actually acting this out. And this was not on my bingo card that this was what it was going to be. I didn't know if he was just a straight up and down serial taker out of that just wanted to do this to random woman. Like, I really didn't know what the story was. And I appreciate when they have movies and they don't give you everything in the trailer, and they don't tell you, show you 50,000 things in the trailer where you feel like you done seen the whole damn movie. So it definitely took me by surprise when he actually was a doctor, and it seemed like he was starting off helping people and helping her, but him wanting his wife back just was something that he wanted way more than he wanted to help her. I guess that's the only other way that I could look at it. And at the same time, her and her friends was out here doing illegal, messed up stuff, but I don't know that it was enough for you to think that it was okay for you to damn take her life. Okay. So yeah, y'all, this is one that I would say if you get some time, because I know all my peoples is not into the horrors of it all, and it is, some things that's a little graphic and a little horror, but overall it's more thriller than horror. I would say it's just that kind of crazy and deranged. And if you don't mind seeing people act damn psychotic and crazy and deranged and then getting what's coming to them at the end, then Twisted may be one that you may want to go ahead and take a peekaboo at. But that was my overall thoughts, my rundown of what was going down in these daggone Twisted streets, baby. Okay, you know you are my lover. You got me twisted. Oh, okay, girl. That's what was going down. So y'all hit the like, comment, share, subscribe if you were so inclined. Give me a wave. Let me know you came by. Hit some flames up in the sky. Till next time, y'all. Toodaloo. Welcome. Come in. This is Tamika's Den. I'm Tamika. Get on in here, y'all. Get on in here. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. You are now in the Den.
Go lock in with Tamika's Den. Ooh, that's fire. Go lock in with Tamika's Den.